Welcome everyone to Here for the Horses. Glad you're here for the horses. Thank you for joining this free Zoom call. This goes on every Sunday, so feel free to tell your friends. Feel free to join anytime. This will always be free. I'm just kind of here spreading the word. So thanks for coming. Glad you're here. Today I want to talk about, we're going to go through a lot, and I wrote it down, so I'm real organized. Okay. I want to talk about, I'm going to do a little icebreaker here in a second, and then we're going to talk about those photos that I put up this week. We're going to go over the nuts and bolts of Journey Through the Horse because we're starting today. Ooh, ooh. Okay, so we're going to go over that. I'm going to tell you all about the different pages that are involved in that. So there's kind of different stuff that you can go to. And then I'm going to tell you about your first assignment in Journey Through the Horse, and we are starting this week. And so I'm going to go over the rules. I'm going to go over where to put your videos. I'm going to go over how it works. And if you have any questions throughout this process, I'm going to give plenty of breaks and we will talk about it. Okay? So if everyone can make sure that they are muted, that would be awesome. And we will get going. Let me pull up. I'm going to go to the coaching page right now, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So those of you that have my online clinic, you are allowed into, whoops, sorry. You are allowed to go to the private coaching community page. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but that's where this stuff is being held right now. So I'm going to take a look at two photos that I put up this week. And I like to do this on the coaching page. So on the coaching page, the public isn't allowed into it. It's just us. So we get to do extra cool stuff on there and not have to worry about, keyboard warriors or anything like that. So I put up two photos this week and I just said, hey, what do you guys think about this? And if you were to magically be able to take tension out of a certain area of their body, where would you take it out? And you guys are awesome. Of course, I already know that. But you guys did really well. So let's take a quick look at those before we get started, just in case people are funneling in. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is the coaching community. If you're already on here, awesome. If not, all you need to do to get on here is to have my online clinic. And then you have my online clinic for lifetime. And then you have access to me through this coaching page for a lifetime. Okay, it's like our little private club. All right, so this week I had put up, I love all the photos you guys have put up so far of your horses. And then you can also ask questions here, like Cheryl was like, hey, where's the Here for the Horses from last week? And I was like, oh, thanks. I didn't upload that. So there you go. Okay, so I put up this photo and I said, that's a pretty horse. I found it on the internet. And it said, if you could loosen up a section of this horse's body, what section would it be? Okay. So this horse actually is built similar to Georgia. And I bet you it has very similar muscle patterns to Georgia. Okay. So you guys absolutely kicked butt at this. And I'm going to go over some of the answers. So let's see here. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So, let's see. We'll do all comments. Okay. Neck, the front half. I agree with that. The thoracic sling. I like all you guys that are using that lingo. Thoracic sling for sure. Jenny's like one single section? Yes, pick one. All right, okay. So I love what Christy put on here. She busted out the old uh photo editing. Look at that. That's pretty darn close to what I'd want to work on right away. And then also, I would have actually extended this line down because look at this little section right
Hmm.
here. This is tight from here all the way down. I would have wanted that line to go right here. But yeah, this all looks really tight, doesn't it? This all looks really tight. And then the neck looks tight. So everyone pretty much got an A plus on this. It was definitely neck, right? This neck should be a lot bigger, softer, and fluffier. And I promise you, after you do the neck work that we have in the clinic and we do lateral flexion, range of motion assessment, that neck will drop down and look about 4 inches longer. Okay? Because I've done that with Georgia. Georgia's neck gets just like this. It like gets all stuck right here and then it gets really short and looks kind of just tight and small. It always looks small. It never looks big. It always looks really small. And this is a pretty nice size horse. Okay. So I would say this section here, I bet you that tricep is also tight, but then the front here going all the way up to the wither and down. And then that is making this little section look tight. Okay, and then the head goes up and it shortens, right? That's what's going to happen. So, you guys did a great job on that. Thoracic sling is all of that. It's all of that. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this other horse. This other horse, oh my gosh. It's a 2-year-old. So that could have something to do with why it's a little funky looking. Okay. It's cute. It's cute. But this neck right here is not good. Not good. Now, what I would have done, now this
Oof.
could have been, and do you see how it's kind of the shape of the neck is kind of like that? Okay. I would definitely want to see what's going on here. I would also want to know why. Okay. On the other horse here, I got a pretty good feeling I know why. All right. This is a gelding, but I pretty much know why because this horse probably runs tight and is a little bit high on anxiety like Georgia is, and probably works hard. Okay. So I have a pretty good feeling about that one. This one's young. Okay. I hope they haven't started it under saddle. But I want to know why that neck looks like that. So did it pull back? Are they using like,
I just
devices?
did her coaching
I'm
group.
not, sh- I'm not sure. Okay. So what what's going on here? Why is it like that? Or was the horse did they shake a can of beans to get it to put its ears forward? Okay. That's still kind of an over exaggerated muscle structure on that neck. So I really want to work on the pole and the atlas axis. Okay. The first two vertebra, because this is wildly large, right? So those are just that's just a couple areas on this horse I'd want to, and you guys knocked it out of the park on that one. Okay. Yep. Jaw. Oh, yeah. I mean, everything is going to be affected by this area being tight. Okay. And this muscle should not look like that. And then I don't really like the curve of the neck right there. So I'd be curious what they're doing with them. Um, Somebody mentioned the stance, and I'm not going to get into that, but the stance is a bit off too. Do you see how this foot's forward and then that foot's back? They talked about that in one of the massage schools that I went to, and she was real adamant about that means this and that and this. And I haven't been able to back that up completely, but anytime I see that sort of stance, something's up. Something's going on. Okay. So I hope that was fun. I hope you guys enjoy those. You guys are doing a great job. Feel free to, if you end up getting onto the coaching page, you can just look around for a while. You don't have to jump in and do everything, but you're always welcome to participate. Okay? All right. So let's talk about launching. We're starting Journey Through the Horse. It's going to be awesome. So let me tell you, for those of you that are new, what Journey Through the Horse is, real quick. So I have an online clinic. It goes all the way through the horse, from the ears, pull all the way down their whole body and out their little feetsies. Okay? It includes the tail and everything. I'm not leaving anything alone. All right? And so, in that, if you have that clinic, you are invited into the coaching community, which I've just explained. It's just us, okay? So it's not open to the public. I don't, and that's also why I feel okay putting photos from the internet in there. I'm not trying to shame anyone or be like, oh my gosh, that horse is all messed up. But it's just us, right? We're not going to go like, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad about their horses. I've put Georgia up plenty of times. Okay. So once you have my clinic, you are welcomed into the coaching community, and that's where I'll put extra videos. I put photos like that, and we discuss them, and then we'll kind of talk about stuff. I put just kind of, Chester's my little. I kind of rescued him for those of you that don't know about him. He's my little project horse I'm working on right now. He does a lot of funny stuff, and I'm slowly fixing it. So I put up, longer videos about him. I'll also put up stuff that I don't teach to the public because I don't feel like it's something that they could do safely. So everything in my clinic, I'm very confident if you follow my instructions, it's safe. It's safe. Okay. I'm going to keep you as safe as I possibly can. Okay. But on the coaching community page, I will put some more advanced stuff. And when I do that, I'm going to say, this is more advanced. Don't do this either without talking to me first to make sure that I, kind of know your ability, or I'll do like little videos that are especially for you. Okay. So that's the coaching community. And then the other thing I want to talk about is all these videos here, the live videos, are on my YouTube page. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is in the chat, I'm going to put up, um, I've seen this with, oh, okay, Jenny, thanks. Yeah. So I think feed bags, hay nets, we're going to find some stuff out about them. Um, I have seen horses eat out of hay nets, the same movement over and over and over, and I know that's not good for them. It's just not good for them. Just like my little Chester, he's got high low, and when he eats, he only moves like this. So that his high is this foot because it's always back, and his low is this foot because it's always forward. Okay. So that's not good either, right? That's not a normal movement for them to make over and over and over and over again. So things happen. What we can do is try to relieve some of that tension and, think about things like this, discuss them, try to have alternatives. We started off with those big hay bins with the metal grates, right? Didn't we? Slow feeders. And then we found out, oh yeah, those metal grates are messing the horse's teeth up, right? And then we went to hay bags, and depending on the hay bag, they do the same motion over and over and over again. That can be a problem. And then some horses get their feet stuck in them if they have shoes. I've seen that a fair amount. So yeah. Yeah, and then how do you say your name? Oh, Lacey? Lacey? I don't know. I'm gonna butcher that. I'm sorry. Um,
Lee's,
Lacey?
just Lee's, as in
Lise.
L.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Um, yeah, they'll throw it up in the air. And they like clang, 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 clang. I've been massaging horses where a horse is next door doing that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we both need noise canceling earphones right now. Um, so, yeah, any sort of like abnormal repetitive movement is just something that I want you to take a look at and think about. Also, here, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I should do a whole, here for the horses about things that we do or things that, happen to horses because of the situation we live in. But short horses that are with stalls that are tall or doors that are tall and they stick their head up like this all the time. it hurts their back and their neck gets like kind of U-shaped. I worked on a horse. I worked on multiple horses where I was like, your stall door is too tall. You gotta lower it. You gotta lower it. So just funny stuff like that. Okay. So in the chat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a link for everything that I just talked about. So if you do not have a link, you can write them down or open them up, and then you can check it out. So the first link I'm putting in here, oh, it's like to everyone. There is no, sorry. I don't know why it keeps everyone in the meeting. There you go. The first link I'm putting up is for my newsletter. My newsletter. Now, I used to brag. Um, my little bunny was in, and that's not acceptable for a bunny. Was in it. Yeah, it does some work on them, that's for sure, Nancy. All right, my second thing I'm gonna put in the chat is going to be the online clinic. So if you don't have it and you need it to do Journey Through the Horse, there you go. Okay. Let's see. The third thing I'm going to put in there is my YouTube page. So if you are not subscribed on my YouTube page and you want to be, go ahead because what happens is every Sunday when I put these calls up, it'll shoot you a notification and remind you that the video is up. So that's helpful. If you ever miss one of these, it's not a problem. They're always recorded. And then for those of you who do have my online clinic, and have not gotten into the coaching community yet, you need to do that because the coaching community is where I put the homework. Okay, so you need to be on there. It's also where you're going to submit the videos for this for the journey through the horse. Okay, so don't email. I mean, you can email them to me if you have to, but submit them to the Facebook page because then I won't lose them. If you put them somewhere else, it's like a 50-50 chance, okay, that I'm gonna get it, right? So there's all that info. Anyone have any questions? Feel free to raise your hand or unmute. Any questions? No? All right. Okay. So, Journey Through the Horse. We are going to begin. Oh, yes, I'm getting to it, Stephanie. Thank you. Yep, it's on my list. Okay, Journey Through the Horse. This is going to be a multi-week process. You're going to get about 2 to 3 video homeworks a week. Okay, don't worry. The videos are only like 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes each. Okay, so you have about 2 to 3 videos to watch and then go do on your horse. I'm taking it easy on you guys this week. Okay. And then what you're going to do if you want feedback, and you don't have to do it, if you want feedback, I want you to record yourself doing it. And then I want you to submit it to the coaching page. Now, all you have to do is try to post it on the coaching page, and then it goes to a little waiting area that I have to approve or not approve. Okay, so what I do is I break out my fancy over talking equipment and I will watch your video and I'll give you feedback on it. And then I save that and I will delete yours. So I will actually deny the video that you submit to me because I have my own copy and I don't want 2 of them out there confusing everybody. Okay, and then I post the video with my voiceover on it. And if you have any questions about like how I do the voiceovers, there are a lot of examples in the coaching community. So feel free to look around. If you're new to the coaching community, go in there and just look around, peruse, okay? And you can kind of see feedback that I give to people, and you can see you could do the whole old journey through the horse. The videos are still up there. It goes back years and years and years, okay? So let's first talk about the Journey Through the Horse clinic. Okay, so here I'm going to show you the clinic. It's right here. Okay, so this is what you're going to jump into. when you sign into the Winning Your Horse's Heart Through Bodywork Clinic. Okay. Over here on the left, this is where all your videos are. Now, if you're doing this on a phone, it's going to look a little bit different. If you're doing it on an iPad, it looks a little bit different. And I can help you a little bit with the phone and not much with the iPad. Okay. I don't have one. And we have figured all the technical issues out so far, so that's been awesome. But if you're doing it on a laptop, I can definitely help you, or a a computer. This is what it's going to look like. It looks a little bit different on a phone. Okay, so what's cool is that when you are scrolling through this, okay, let's go to the welcome section. So did you guys see how I did that? You can click these up and down, make those go up and down. Okay, so go to the welcome section first, and I want you to watch the signs of relaxation. It's not a video, sorry. I want you to read the signs of relaxation, enjoyment, and concern. And we talked about this last week. So if you want a more in-depth video on this, then go to my YouTube page. And it was last week's YouTube, which was the 11th. So just look for the date. Okay. And I want you to read over this and I want you to think about it. And then at the very bottom, there is your downloadable workbook. Okay, right here at the very bottom of the signs of relaxation, enjoyment, and concern. It's 42 pages or something like that. So if you want to download it, cool. If you don't, I mean, some people download it and print it off and make a book out of it, spiral bound, all that good stuff. If you want to do that, awesome. If it's pretty much the same thing you're gonna see like right here, okay? But it has like cool diagrams and stuff. So just download that and you can just pull it up on your computer if you want, or you can print it off. I like paper in my hands. I'm one of those people. I need it in my hands. So I always print everything off. Okay. So make sure you go to the signs of relaxation, enjoyment, concern, read that, and then download the workbook. That's on the first page. The next thing, and this isn't our homework yet, is safety tips and tricks. Okay. So I go over some of the basic safety tips and tricks that I want you guys to always do throughout the clinic. Okay. I also give safety tips and tricks in each video that they are important in. Okay. So you don't need to memorize it. I remind everybody about safety tips and tricks. Okay. But here's just some random stuff like feeding time isn't great. Okay. And when you listen to, if you guys haven't listened to the webinar that I did with Wanda and her husband, the farrier, removing easing tension for better farrier work. First of all, check that out because it was awesome. But they also talk about that too. Like feeding time's not great to do farrier work, right? It's not great when the rest of the herd is turned out in the pasture and you brought your horse in by themselves and they're super herd bound. Okay, so that would be a safety tip and trick. And that one's more of a trick because you want your horse to be in a state of relaxation. Well, if they're worried about, Dottie and Summer out there in the pasture who are eating all the good grass, then they're not going to enter a state of relaxation. So set yourself and your horse up for success. Okay? So go check out the safety tips and tricks. Okay, are you ready for this week's homework? You're going to go to Spotlight 1. So these are kind of divided into spotlights. Spotlight 1, this is going to be the face and the head. I want you to do the intro and safety. Okay? Intro and safety. And when you check out these videos, scroll down because there's extra stuff down here. Okay. And this is also where I do the safety tips. And then I'll do like fun facts. Okay. Molly Sanders and I don't know if any of you guys know Molly. Well, I know a lot of you know Molly Sanders. Molly Sanders and I put this clinic together. So, I always think of her whenever I look at this clinic because she put a ton of work into it. Ton of work. All right. So, intro and safety. I want you guys to watch that video. And also, another nuts and bolts on this. If you, on your screen, you're going to have like a little graduation hat down here in the corner, the right corner. I'm not sure where it's at on the phone, but down here in the right corner, you're going to have a little graduation hat. So you can click on that graduation hat and it'll take you back to this and it'll let you bounce around up here. So sometimes people get stuck in here somewhere and they can't get out. A little trap. You can just go to the graduation hat and it will get you out of there. Okay. All right. All right. So I want you to do the intro to safety. And then for the fun part, we're going to start this week on the poll and the ears. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was gonna quiz you guys. But here's like an interesting factoid, so that's why these are fun to read. Hor Humans have 3 ear muscles and horses have 10. And we've done a YouTube, or we've done it here for the horses on the ear muscles. Okay, so horses have 10 ear muscles. Isn't that cool? So if you think about it, those can get tight and you start having issues. Okay? So you're going to take a look at this poll and ears, okay? And you can read down here and it talks about what this affection can help with. These are called affections. It can help with horses that are head shy. It can help with ear shyness, shaking or rubbing. It also gives you success tips, okay? And then action steps, so it kind of describes what you're going to do. And then same with the ears. Okay, so you're only having to do homework on poll and ears this week. So feel free to um, set up your phone. You don't need to buy anything fancy for this. If you have a phone that records, that's all it takes. I literally would balance my phone on like a fence post for like 2 years. That's what I did. Okay, so um, don't feel like you need to buy anything like a tripod or anything like that. Okay. Um, any questions on that so far? Good. Right on. Yeah, Nancy's the iPod queen. She's doing real good with that. Hi, Judith. Glad you're here. Judith's like, I actually made it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Leanne, there are also notes, little spaces that you can take notes. What I would recommend is, print those sheets off with the photos of the horses. And actually, hold on. Oh, okay. So this is an example of the sheet that I use when I'm massaging a horse. Nothing fancy, okay? Nothing fancy. But do you know what I like these for? Is I fill these out when I'm working on a horse and I'll circle and I'll X and I'll write the muscles in and then if the leg is going out crooked, I'll write a little line or I'll circle the head and I'll put little lines on the jaw. Okay, and then I write up here a description of what's going on. And then I stick these in my client's locker. Okay. And I can put these on the coaching page if you guys want them to. It's easy. It's easy. I tried to make one of my own because I would like a picture of the face straight on this, which I don't have, but I tried to make one of my own and I ended up coming back to this one anyways, so I gave up. But I'll put that on the coaching page, okay? A copy of it, and then you guys can print those off if you want. But what's cool is I would go into my client's locker to drop one of those off after I massage them, and they would have them stacked in there. And so I would pull them all out and I would look at them and I would flip through them and I would be able to be like, well, that's still there. Oh, that went away. That went away. That was a one-time deal. Oh, this was when they were, this, or oh, look, 2 times ago I said they were fat. Oh, look, they're at the right weight now. Da 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 da. Rebecca, why are you laughing?
Bling is
Blink.
at a healthy weight now, I can say. She's been on a
I,
diet.
I always go, oh my gosh, Bling, hello, darling. She gains and loses weight like I do, you guys. She just woo. She's like, oh, I breathed too much air this week. Look, I gained weight. So yeah, those sheets are really fun. So even if you just have like a blank horse, and you can print it off however you want to do it, and then you can write and keep them for your own horse. And that's actually a great idea. We should make that a requirement next time we do this journey through the horse. Everybody has to take notes, and then we're going to look at the horse at the end. So yeah, that's just an idea that you can do. Okay. Any questions? I forgot where I was going. All right, I'm going to show you what you're going to find on, I'm going to be putting our homework up. Hold on. I'm going to be putting our homework up on the coaching page. So what it's going to look like when I do that is, let me refresh this. Yeah, hold on. So this is the coaching page. Here. Okay. So every week, I'm going to put up your homework here in case you missed it. And that way, what you can do is just go to the clinic and watch that video and watch that video. And then record it if you want to. And then you're going to submit it right here. You just go right here and submit it. Okay. And then it goes to the holding pen for me. Um, okay. So now kind of nuts and bolts of that. Um, You don't have to pick one horse in particular. It would kind of be cool if you did, but a lot of you have a lot of horses. So what I would recommend in that situation is do all of your horses, okay? Do all of them, record all of them, and then watch the recordings, or if you know, like you struggled with this horse, then submit that video to me. Okay, so kind of pick the video that you want to submit to me. I need them to be 9 minutes or less. Okay, and that should be doable because my videos are less. If you do like a long video, just tell me the timestamps on when to look at it or edit it down for me. Okay, and then I'll do a voiceover on the 9 minutes. And then I will put that video up on the coaching community page so that we can all learn from it. There's just nuggets of awesomeness in these videos. Literally awesome. And I will not put up any video on my public page without permission, but sometimes I'm like, I get a little excited when I watch these because there is some stuff happening. And so I will ask to put up, the video of you guys working, but only if you're comfortable with that. If you look at your horse and you think they're really tight and they look tight, take a picture of it before you start working. And you can put that up on the community page too, if you want. And then take a picture when you're done working. Okay. So 9 minute video. Um, Also, if we're doing poll and ears, I need it done within that week. Okay. So I can't be doing, I can't be doing poll and ears when we're on like the withers. Okay. So if you can get your homework done also, that week, then submit that. If not, if you had something crazy happen and you really need me to see it, just send it to me and I'll take a look at it. But in general, kind of stay on top of it because there's going to be a lot of people doing it this year. So got to hunker down a little bit. Okay. So like I said, any questions on that? Okay. Like I said, this week we are going to be doing the poll and the ears. So let's talk a little bit about that. I just put up a video for on my public page of the poll. Did anyone see that? Let's look at it real quick. Let me find it here first. Actually, I'll take you guys for a little ride. You can come with me when I look for it. Why not? Okay. So if we go to winning your horse's heart, I worked with little Chester. Whoops. There we go. See, I instantly, I'm not going to. But I want to ruin pictures of horses for all of you. I want all of you to be able to be like, nope, that horse needs a massage. Okay. Let's see. We did a poll on Chester. This this post was hilarious. I mean, it got people are sharing it, 12 shares. It's so funny. It was just a random post I put up. Okay, here we go. Oh no, that was a good croissant, bad croissant. Is this it? Maybe. Let's watch.
Hi.
Just show real quick. I'm going to give you some homework for this week.
Yeah.
Journey course is starting next week, so this will be kind of similar to the homework that you will get through the course. If you don't know what Journey Through the Horse is, I want you to go to my Facebook page and look for it. There's a lot going to be awesome. You're going to wait, okay? So if you're not doing Journey the first time, that you'll two courses. Now I had someone submit a video, and she did a really good job, and she was able to get a lot of tension out of her horse's face and head with just this simple move, okay? So it doesn't need to be complicated. Now, what we're going to do, you're going to take your whatever hand, it doesn't matter what side you stand on, but you're going to take one hand and you're going to put it on the side cheek of the halter. Now, if I'm working from like the rib cage forward, I generally try to have a hand on the halter because when you hit an area of tension, they can have a reaction to it. Okay, and if they're going to react, you want your hand holding the halter so that their face doesn't come into you. And if it does, it would be an accident. But guess what? Their face and your face, there's always one winner, and it's not you. Okay, so hand on the halter. All right, so hand on the halter. I want your other hand, this one, to come here and just gently rest on the pole. Okay, so look at him kind of look at me there for a second. That was interesting. Now he's blinking. This is all I'm doing. It's a soft, gentle, warm hand on the pole. And hold it. This hand is nice and light. Oh, here we go. This hand is nice and light. I'm not putting pressure on his face. I'm not, you have to hold your own hand up. Don't use their halter to hold your hand up. Okay? So just wait there and see what happens. You would be surprised. Now, if they start to get there we go. There we go. If they start to get fidgety, then that's tension. That's tension. Okay? So you're holding your hand there. If they're not fidgety, he just did like a little twitch. Okay? If they're not fidgety and there's no change in them whatsoever, you can go to the next level. What would the next level be? Well, you're going to gently squeeze and release. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple things that I've mentioned in this video so far. Oh yeah, Beth, Sunday to Sunday. So try to get it in Sunday. I have a couple hours from church to when we do the videos, but if you can get it in before that, that helps. You might like to explain follow-up video. Yeah. That's correct. Submissions for new members. Yeah. Um, so Leanne just mentioned sometimes I will ask you if I see something to do a follow-up. Okay. And I'll give you tips and I'll say, I need to see a follow-up video from you. So that's a freebie. You get a free submission to me because either you're on something and I want to watch it happen. And that's the real case. Like I know you're real close and I want to be part of watching that horse release, okay? Or or it's a different technique that I want you to try. Okay? So if I tell you, it's kind of like when the teacher writes at the top of the paper, "See me," okay? I'm like, "See me." And send me a new video because now I really want to see this. Okay. Thanks, Leanne. Yeah, Beth, that was awesome. Oh, good. You're welcome, Kristen. I like ruining pictures. It's awesome. Okay. So, a couple things that I mentioned in that video. When you are working anywhere from the ribs forward, I want a hand on the halter, especially the face when you're working on the face. Face, forehead, ears, jaw, hyoid. One hand is always on the halter. And this is why. Because one, if they don't want you working on it, they do a lot of this stuff. It's just like, they kind of dive around, okay? Two, if you go to do something and you hit a spot, and I know we've all done this. Sometimes it happens when you do like bridling, right? If you bridle a horse, they kind of do that sometimes, right? But if you hit a spot, especially on the ears, and if they're head shy, they do these really fast little head throws, okay? And they are not meaning to bust you in the face, but they will. They will. Also, when you're doing almost always for the face work, I want you on a side. Okay, so one hand and you're working that side, switch sides. Okay, the reason for that, if you stand in front of them and you hit a spot or you're making them feel funny, they'll throw that nose up and they'll pop you. Okay. I don't stand in front of horses very often. And when I do, I have a hand on the halter. Okay. And then I'll work their forehead. Okay. So always have a hand on the halter. And then I forgot the other thing I was gonna say. All right, we'll keep watching. Oh, I remember now. Step one, flat, warm hand, nice and soft. That's it. That's it. Bam. Now, Chester, he went like this. That's a common fake out, man. Okay? I want you to hold it. I want you to wait. I want you to wait them out. Okay? Now, if they're like, and they're like cocking their leg, falling asleep, humming a little song, okay, then you can move on. But we're gonna hone in on these horses that are trying to hide and mask stuff because that's what they do. If you have a stoic horse, get ready. We're going to uncover some stuff. Okay? But Chester's not stoic, but he went internal, didn't he? He went, "Oh crap. If I ignore her, she'll go away." Okay? We don't play that game. We're going to wait them out. So, flat hand, wait, and then give them a break. That's the other thing. Lots and lots of breaks when you're starting to do this. Because what I want you to know when you get a release is, what did I get that release from? If you just did three different moves, you don't know. Okay? That's why in my videos, I'm standing against a wall with my leg cocked half the time because I'm going to do a section of the horse. I'm going to back up and I'm going to wait. Okay? I'm going to wait because I want to know, is it this move? If I don't get anything out of them, I'll move on. And then I wait. Oh, it was this move.
Mm.
Okay? There you go. All right, let's go back to the video here. Squeeze. Oh, squeeze and release. So this kind of brings up the intensity of the move. And if they're hiding tension in that pole, then this can really expose it. Okay, so you're just going to be gentle, squeeze and release. If there's a lot of blinking going on, if they dive down, if they pull away, if they're kind of shaking their head, then that's tension, and you can go back to just holding your hand there. Okay, squeeze and release. You can move your hand around a little bit. I call this the brain sucker. And what's it doing, Chester? It's starving. Oh my gosh, that's so rude. It's not a funny joke. He says, I'm intelligent. I'm brilliant. So he's kind of zoned out on me here. That's fine. Just keep rubbing. Squeeze. I want you to do this on your horse and see what you get. Now, those of you that have been with me for a while know what I'm going to do next. Give them a break. Because sometimes they're holding the tension in. There's the release. There's the release. Did you notice how he didn't release while I was working on him? Look at how cute he is. Look how cute he is. He is so cute. Oh, I know. Georgia hates kisses. She hates kisses. Okay? Give him a moment. There's another release. Give him a moment. Oh, Georgia's releasing. Give him a moment. Let their body adjust. Here's another release. Here's another release. Okay? And we're going to be talking about all the different types of releases on the first day of Journey Through the Horse. So definitely join us for that. Even if you're not able to do it this round, come and join us for the Sunday Here for the Horses call. Okay. Okay, because we're going to be going over a lot of this stuff. We've heard enough about Journey Through the Horse. All right, here we go. With this intensity, I mean, obviously this isn't intense, but you can grab a little forelock and jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Pull up. Grab a little forelock. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. He goes, oh, that's more intense. Look at him. He's like, oh boy. Okay, now give him a break. That intensified it, didn't it? There's a release. There's a release. Look, he's yawning, you guys. Oh, he tried to yawn. No. I gotta talk about halters. Don't let me forget. This is also why I don't do this stuff in cross ties. You're restricting their ability to communicate the feeling for them. Okay, so if you can do it in a paddock like this. Okay. All right, that just made me think of a lot of things. All right, make sure your halter is big enough that they can yawn fully. Okay. Chester's is actually a little too small, and I keep telling myself that I'm going to loosen that nose band, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm actually going to do it, I promise. Okay. So make sure your halter is big enough that they can yawn fully. And horses yawn wide, you guys. Maybe your horse doesn't yawn fully, and we're going to cover that when we get to the jaw. Okay. Paulette asks, how would you approach an ear-shy Percheron mix whose head can be taller than my reach? Yeah. Great question, Paulette. Thank you. Yes. So, head shy. You need to have a starting point that's back further. Okay. So, what I would do, and this is going to sound really weird, but Paulette, if you could be our little guinea pig this week, that would be amazing. Start at a distance. Okay. I don't do a ton of work at distance because I can normally get my hands on horses, but put your hand as close as you can to their pole and breathe. Be intentional. Think about releasing tension in that area of their head. Do that for about 30, and find a spot where they're comfortable with that, right? So you start going like this and they start going like that, then that's your starting spot. Just stay there. Okay. Hold your hand there and wait. I would do it for 30 seconds, and 30 seconds is longer than you think. So do it for 30 seconds and then take your hand off, back up 4 feet, maybe even turn your back, and then have your camera watching them from a distance, watching them over your back and see what they do. Okay. That's going to open the door. And then what you can do, and I've worked on some really extremely head shy horses. I had one client tell me, you're not going to be able to touch her head. And I'm like, listen, my name's Erin. Don't tell me what I'm not going to be able to do. Okay. Because now I really want to do it. End of that day, end of that massage, I was all over that mare's head, and she was like, "Yes, Auntie Erin, do it." Okay. I got so much tension out of that horse's head. It was awesome. It was awesome. And she was a little battle axe too. She was short and she was fast and she was a barrel horse and she was a mare. And she wasn't going to take anything from anybody. Okay? But she didn't want to carry that tension around. Are you serious? That's awful. So it was funny because that woman went around town talking about that situation with everybody. It was really funny. Erin can touch her head. Erin can touch her head. Okay, so Paulette, you're going to be our guinea pig this week. Another thing I would do is I would have a starting point maybe down the neck. Okay, work your way up there. Approach and retreat. We've all heard that. Okay, so just kind of start where they're cool with it. And then you're going to slide up and you're going to, oh, no, I wasn't going to touch your head. No, I wasn't. Slide back up. Oh, no, I wasn't going to touch your head. I don't know how my hand got up there. Have a good opinion about it. As far as that Percheron being tall, yeah, I don't recommend that you stand on something because what's going to happen? If they knock you down, it's not fun. So I don't recommend that. And then the last option is, you know what? Skip it. We're not here to prove anything. We're not here to prove anything. So honestly, when I have horses that are like freakishly weird about their head, and there are some, I go, you know what, honey? I'm gonna start at your butt and I'm gonna work my way forward. And by the time I get to their head, they're like, touch me anywhere. I don't care. Okay. So I am not opposed to breaking rules and starting at the hind end and working my way forward. It doesn't bother me a bit. Okay. So there's a couple things you can mess with. But and any of you that want to try work from a distance, it's fascinating. It's very fun. I enjoy it. Masterson method teaches that a lot. Could stand on a truck bed. Yeah, on the roof. Yeah. Okay. Does that help? So that's the poll. There were 3 steps. Flat hand, brain sucker. Okay. And then what I want you to do, grab that forelock and pull it up and jiggle it. Pull it up and jiggle it. They'll go there. This is what the horses are going to do. They go, it's really funny when they go, oh, okay. And then stand back and see what happens. Okay. Okay, good. Client's horse. Yeah, give it a try. Let me know how it goes. Let me know how it goes. Okay. So that's the poll. Brain sucker, brain drain. Yeah. Okay. Ears. For the ears. This is now I know that a lot of other I mean, I've seen other people teach kind of ear stuff too, and they'll teach, put your finger and slide it up the ear and then pinch the tip of the ear. You can do that. I don't teach that. I mean, it's a whole different move. Feel free to do it. There's an acupressure point at the tip of their ear. Feel free. What I'm after, who knows what I always say about the pole in regards to the ears? The pole gets blamed for everything. The pole gets blamed for everything. You have a head shy horse, it's the pole. You have a horse that shakes their head, it's the pole. You have a horse that does, this and that and this and that. Everybody always says it's the pole. It's not always the pole, you guys. And this is what happens, unfortunately, is that it's not the pole, it's something else. And so people try to release the pole and get tension out of the pole. There's no tension there. And so they go, well, the horse is just head shy, and they walk off because they don't know what else to do. Okay? In the next couple weeks, we're gonna scour the head and ears, pole of the entire horse. We're gonna find areas of tension, you guys. And it's going to be in the ears. It's going to be in the jaw. It's going to be in the TMJ. It's going to be in the hyoid. It's going to be on the forehead. Okay? We might mess with their nostrils. We're going to find tension throughout their entire head. It's not just the poll. So if you have a horse that's been head shy and people are like, well, it's the poll, it's probably not the poll if you've been working on that. The ears hold a lot of tension. So I'm going to close with this. When you're working on the poles, this is the ears. This is how I teach it. Slide your hand in flat around the base of the ear, squeeze the base of the ear, and pull slightly up. Okay? Now, I used to say, pretend like you're holding a baby bird. Okay? But you know what I found when I said that? People weren't doing it firm enough. Okay? So you're going to slide your hand around the base of the ear. You're going to hold that ear. And as you close your hand, you see how it lifts up? You're going to gently lift that ear up. Now, the ear should be able to lift off the skull that far. They're not attached. Okay? There's not a bony junction there. Those ears can move. And then also, you're going to do little circles. Circles with the ears. So if you circle the base of the ear, where does it not want to circle? Okay, it's the same thing when we do circles with the legs. If the legs go ert, ert, okay, or if they swing in but won't go out, okay, it should just do a circle. If it doesn't do a circle nice, where is it tight? Where does it not want to go? And then that's your problem area. Okay. Then you're going to just gently squeeze the base of the ear, do a little circle with it. If it doesn't want to go in a certain direction, you can pull it in that direction and just hold it slightly. Let go, back off. See what the body has to say about it. Okay. So your homework this week, safety tips and tricks, print your workbook, look over the welcome section, and do the ears and the poll. Remember, please keep a hand on the halter. If it's too extreme, one, I'm excited you're here because we're going to fix it. Okay. It's going to be awesome. But two, send me a video. You know, be like, I don't feel comfortable. And we can always come back. Okay. Can always come back. Oh yeah. Stephanie finds a whole bunch of good stuff on the internet and then she shares it with all of us. So she did a cool dissection video on the ears. You guys can check that out on the coaching community page. It's cool. Okay. Any questions? Okay. If you're on there and you want to put up a picture of your horse and tell us who they are, that would be amazing. I will generally learn their names by the end, so it's going to be fun. I'm using Little Chester. It'll be fun. Yeah, Stephanie. Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I submitted one little video, but can we delete that one and then go through, do this again?
You're going to have to because you actually submitted a photo.
Oh,
Isn't that great? You had a
yeah.
practice week. It was awesome.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else?
That, that sheet that you
Okay.
use, Erin, can you hear me?
Yeah,
That sheet that you use that you showed, is that downloadable? Yeah.
I will put it on there for you. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to make it downloadable, but I can make it a photo and I think you can just print the photo. It'll be
Okay.
the same thing.
Yep. Thanks.
Makes it easy.
You can just
Okay.
scan it.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Anybody else?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, everyone. Go forth and conquer. Have a great week. Message me any questions you have. Talk to you
Thanks.
later. You're welcome. See you guys later. Bye.